I'm going to ask you one thing it's very simple to do, and I want you to do right now, with no wind, opens the palm of your hand. You open it. Look at it as if you had never been looked at before. Because I am going to tell you the truth, hardly anyone speaks in a loud voice. People are carrying a symbol is hidden in his palm, and the living, as if it was just a coincidence. And what's worse, when I say sign, and I'm not talking about something that's drawn with a pen, it's not. I'm talking about drawing the lines themselves are, in a format that is naturally, and that in many traditions, it is treated as a warning sign of the potential, the mission of the game. And here's the question that can change your day. Do you have a letter that formed the lines of his hand? If you do have it, I want you to stay with me until the very end. Because I'm not going to give you just a curious fact for you, comment on, and forget about tomorrow. I'll give you a hint, of the kind that hits you in the chest, and it makes a person think, wow. So that's why. I've seen people laugh at it. I have seen many people doubt me. I've seen people say, that's silly. But I've also seen people stand in silence staring at their own hand, and to understand that there are things in there that it blends too much with their lives. And do you know what's more awkward? When a person sees, she doesn't unsee. It's as if a door was opening in the head. So, I'm going to cut straight to the chase. The letter A's in his hand, and I have a message for you today. A job that may interfere with their decisions, their boundaries, and with the way you see and the way you deal with people who drain your energy, especially with the feeling that there is something calling out to me, and I'm pretending that I don't hear. And I'm going to explain it in a way that's pretty simple for beginner to himself. What to look for, how to compare the means of the readings with symbols, myths, truths, and to alert the parent. Before I dive into that, subscribe to the channel now and share this video with someone else. Because if this is a warning, this makes sense to you, it may make sense to someone else. And I want this message to come in if you want and need to wake up now. I know that there are many people that listens for palmistry, and you might imagine someone on the surface talking about it difficult, promising a future time. I'm not going down that road. I'm going to have to tell you, as I look at it, the same way, more down to earth. Palmistry is basically a habit of the old looking at the hands and the lines to interpret tendencies, personality traits, emotional patterns, and symbols that in some of the traditions are called marks. That's been around for a long time in many different cultures. And why is that? Because the hand is seen as an extension of what we do in the world we create, work, play, walk away, safe in the loose, all by hand. Right now, I need to be responsible for it. Here, this is not an exact science. I can't look at your hand and say, it'll happen to you that day. I don't believe in that kind of certainty. But I also don't think it's useless. Because the symbol is a function from a powerful symbol that is the glass. He gives you a look, and sometimes you don't notice. You're only going to be living in the automated, trying to please, trying to survive, trying to fit in. Here appears as a symbol and you have to. You have questions. You think. And in that moment, you will begin to see more of the truth. So I've been using it just as a tool of self-discovery, as a point of care. And in the matter of today, the letter E, on the other hand, is just that, a point of care forte. Right now, I'm going to draw you in as if I had been there, by his side. First of all, you open your hand and just relax. Don't press your finger, because it changes a little bit at the display, if you can, and puts it close to the light or to light up his flashlight on the phone. The palm branch, the people tend to look at a few key areas. Again, no mystery. I'm going to tell it simple. The lines are longer than cut down the palm, smaller lines that cross over and connect to the letter A. Typically looks like this. In two lines, forming a kind of triangle, open, and it's a line across the middle, as the stick of the butt, pay attention. You do not need to be perfect, the same font from your computer. At times, it appears to be tortino. At times, the stick is a short line. At times, the format that is most noticeable when you tilt your hand. What can I do to make sure? I'm looking for the center of the palm and the intersections of if I compare that with the two hands, I look at it from far away, as if I were looking for an overall design. And here's a tip. If you are ever in doubt, think like this. If I were to draw up to the top of these lines, it's easy to fit into, If so, you probably will see the symbol. And, if you are still not found, it continues with me in the same way. Even if you don't have to complete it, you can take a look like, and it also has the performances. Right now, I'm going to talk about why so many people thinks the letter is a special one. In the symbolism of the letter is often linked to the beginning, the initiative, leadership, creative impulse, the courage to pave the way, the ability to influence others. And I want to tell you how I interpret this in the real world. When a symbol, as it appears in the hand, it serves as a reminder that one is not born just to try to go through life. It was created to mark it with something. Even if it is in the life of someone near to you, even if it is a choice that can change a whole generation, even if it's breaking up a pattern in the family, I've noticed that it carries a first step. And guess what? These people are suffering the most in the beginning, because it's the first time enough. Be the first to say, I do not agree that enough. Be the first to try something that's different enough. Be the first one to put it out enough. Be the first to respect it enough. Just that it's there, and the symbol will turn on the warning to get away from your way. Not in the sense of the self, but rather in the sense of a responsibility to yourself. Now, I would like to be your part. Comment on here if you found a letter in her hand, and tell me too if you have the lines on some of the format in your hand right now. A photograph, a print, a drawing, or the one you can't describe to you where the next to the thumb in the center, which is closer to that of the fingers. I'm going to read it because this will help a lot to understand how you can't see. Right now, I'm going to be a part of it. When it hits you, hits her. In the standard, the emotional and intuitive to use. In the readings of the symbolic, one who has a more organized and the formats are suitable tends to have the following. The intuition is to be more active. Social perception is strong, easy to read mood from the environment, with a permanent sense of what's behind. And I'm going to translate this feeling to the everyday life without any of poetry. Do you tell when someone's lying to you, even if that person was smiling? Do you feel as a place that's heavy, even for nothing to happen to you? Do you anticipate a problem before it bursts? You know when someone's you using it, but sometimes it can condone the same as well. Here's a sentence that I want to save. Perception of no limit turns to pain. Because you feel too much is a gift, but you feel so much without knowing how to protect yourself turn tear. I'm going to talk about that now. But in the past, I want to provoke you with a question. How many times have you already knew it, and yet pretended he didn't know? How many times has your intuition tells you cried, and you if you're alone so as not to lose someone else? Just don't be boring. Just so as not to create a conflict. If you have to breathe. Because the notice of the people, to do just that. To give up if you give up. I'll tell you what I think is the most unfair with people who are responsive. What the world demands that she has to be strong all the time, but it will not teach her to shield. And who has that kind of brand with a symbolic? Sometimes you can live so, holding on to the pain of others, being a counselor without getting taken care of, back by turning the safe harbor for us. That will only appear when you need them, leaving you exhausted after talking to some people. Have you ever felt that? You are talking to someone, and after that, it seems that his power was gone. It seems like you have become a burden. It seems that you've uploaded something that wasn't his own. This is, in plain language, there's no limit to the emotional. In and out don't. It's good. It's free. I have learned one thing. It's not because I can understand the pain of someone else that I should be living in it. I can't support myself from drowning along with them. So, if you have the lyrics, I want you to listen to this as a small warning before the big one. Of the presence it deserves access to, not every conversation is worth your energy. Not everyone deserves to availability. And yes, it is life-changing. Right now, I'm going to stick to the middle of the video. Here is the turning point. In a lot of reading, a letter in his hand appears as the symbol for, in the transition phase named to the position, the need for leadership, the closing of one cycle, and the beginning of another, the awakening of consciousness. And I'm going to tell it the way most straightforward as possible. If you're seeing the letter in his hand, to this day, I don't think it is coincidence that you have fallen into in this video. Because of the warning that comes with this symbol, it is almost always the same. to postpone for what you have already decided for you. You may not even have said it out loud. You may be trying to feign normalcy. You will have to decide. You're only afraid of the discomfort that comes after it. And I'm going to give you examples of what this might mean in your life. You're in a relationship that no longer exists for a long time, but no one had the courage to quit. You're on a desktop or on a path that doesn't agree with you more, but you do have a fear of starting over. You're accepting a crumb of emotional people. They add up and around you can see if canceling to keep the peace, but to lose respect for you. This symbol, when it is interpreted as a warning, it is a simple sentence. If it is valid. If you choose to, put yourself in his place. Subscribe to the channel right now. Don't leave it to you later. Because if you've read this far, you're getting a message that fits you in any part of your life. And I'm going to keep talking to you about the signs, symbols, patterns, and emotional self-awareness in a way that is no nonsense. And if you don't subscribe, you might miss the next video is going to beat the more specific you are, just at the point that you're trying to avoid. Sign up now. For real. Right now, I'm going to do what few people do, and I'm going to turn this into action. If I interpret the lyrics as a call to motion, I do three things. A. I cut the noise, I mistaken. I have taken in excess of the opinions of others. I'll stop asking for validation, for people who do not live my own life. I don't know what. That's really what I want? What do I take? I'm afraid of losing. Two that I chose to limit. There's only one. Don't need to change everything in one day. But to choose the one out, hang one who disappears, stop justifying all the time. Stop accepting the hoax that you disregard. Stop by to lend power to those who do not return. 3. And I will give you a step visible. I will do something that proves to me that even if I was to move out. It can be either a simple one, organizing the curriculum to study anything new, talk to someone, blocking a person, get therapy, back on the train to recreate. The warning is not meant to scare you. It is meant to push you to the place that you already know who is on your side. Do I have to be fair? It's a lot exaggeration here and there. Myth. If you have the lyrics to you've chosen, and everything will be all right. No. No one can live on in the automatic mode. Life requires action. Myth. If you don't have it, you have no mission. And no. It also may not. Everyone has a path. The whole world has its challenges and performance. Fact. The symbols can act as a trigger of self-awareness. They make you stop, look, ponder, and understand the standards. The truth of the hand changes with the time. All the lines have changed. And this is so symbolic of life changes. You change, your choices, you leave an impression. What I recommend is this. Use it as a mirror, not a sentence. Use as a reflection, not as a prison. Now, I want you to comment below. Do you have the lines on some of the format in your hand right now? You took a picture, he drew a picture. Can you describe it? And did you see the letter A in what is a region? I want you to understand, as it appears to you. Now comes the part that a lot of people don't like to hear. The person who has the power to lead, and the beginning of, uncomfortable for you. And it's not because it is a scandal. Sometimes it bothers me just to exist, because it reminds the other that they did not have the courage to do so. Anyone who carries this is a type of symbol that tends to have the following. To be strong, even when talking about base, the sense of justice is high. It gives a conflict. Uncomfortable with deceit and falsehood, the desire for the truth, even if it hurts. And then it happens all too common. The person tries to reduce who they are to generate friction. It's just that it charges a transfer price. The anxiety, the frustration, the feeling of being alive by half. So, if you have the lyrics to I want you to think about, at what time I'm meaning for it to be accepted, why you may notice are, does not decrease anymore. I'm going to tell you about the classic mistake. The person you think is the gift it is to take care of the whole world. She turns to act to solve the problem. She had seen a psychologist for free. She turns to the person who is holding the bar for all. And on the outside, she appears to be strong, but on the inside, she's drained. And you know what's going on? Because the one who perceives it very much, try to avoid tragedy. Those who perceive too much, you try to fix it. Anyone who notices a lot tries to control the chaos. But there's a fine line between helping and being lost. So, I'm going to give you a sentence that is worth its weight in gold. I can't love someone and still say no. I can't care and I still preserve. I can't be nice without being a fool. Now it says here you have the lyrics too. And tell me too if you have those lines at some of the format in your hand right now. Photo, print, drawing, or description. I want to see how many people are experiencing it and how it will appear, one in each hand. Right now, I'm going to make this a reality. If you notice the lyrics to reactive in your life, you're living with a couple of signs like this. You're more sensitive than usual. Do you get annoyed with the things they tolerate? Do you feel the need to change it, but you feel the fear of losing security? You're cutting off all contact with the people, which before it was a must-have, you're realizing. Repeating patterns in the family, you can't get tired of repeating the cycle of a relationship or a friendship. You are feeling that you need to choose a path, but it's off. And here's the thing. Sometimes the warning does not come as an event and uncomfortable. The hassle is the internal alarm. The problem is that a lot of people mute the alarm for the distraction. Roll the screen, come for anxiety. It engages with a hole it works. Two occupy your mind, and then there's life. Cries out for each other like that. So I'd rather listen to the warning of what to expect in the notice of the great. If the letter A is interpreted as the energy of the beginning and the leadership, and I will strengthen it as well. A, I practice decision-making. I'll stop to be picking out of fear. I want the responsibility. Not always I'm going to get it right, but I'm going to get out of this place. 2, I practice the truth. I say what needs to be said about it. I stop to eat to avoid conflict. Why not conflict too much to turn internal conflict? 3, and I practice self-care energy. I decrease the contact with the people who are bleeding. I want to better. I understand that my peace is a priority. 4 of them. I work out to create the people with the power of the beginning need to be developed. A project, a policy, a plan, a study for a change. If I do, I get angry. I'm stuck. I'm looking forward to it. And here's the secret. The power of the A is not just about getting. It's about to start something. You need to be. Right now, I'm going to give you the questions that I would do if I saw one on the lot, of course, in my palm now. And I want you to answer in his mind, honestly. I'm put off by the fear of losing someone else. What is the limit I need to get this week? What is the cycle that I'm replaying it and pretend that it is bad luck? What is the part of me that I hide? I do not disturb you. If only I were more brave, I would do in the first place. And it is a fact that it weighs in at times. The warning is very simple. You were cheating on him. You're saying yes when you mean no. You're getting to where I wanted to go. You are accepting of where I wanted to demand respect. And no one's going to live your life for you. So comment on here. Do you have those lines in any format that is in your hand now? Photo, print, drawing, or description? And tell me which one of them he took strong in you today. I want to read it, because it will show exactly where the warning is playing in your life. Right now, I'm going to finish up with the way that this video is worth it, with the impact and the direction. If you have seen a letter in his hand, and I want you to get the gist of the message, this is a call for you to stop ignoring what you know. I of you, if a position. For you to cut out that I suck. For you at the start of the stage, you've been putting off. To comply with the way you've always waited for the others to respect. And right now, I'm going to ask you for anything, and directly, and without hesitation. Subscribe to the channel now, right now, because when you've made it this far, you have not arrived at by chance. And I'm going to keep bringing in videos that will hit you in the place of signs and symbols, patterns, intuition, protection, emotional, and turn to the next phase. And you're going to want to be here for the next video to fit into even the most in its history. Because it pushes that content to more people. I need to wake up. Share this video with someone you love, or with someone who lives in the lost, to repeat the cycle, if the voids. Sometimes it's a video, it's in the push who was missing. And comment here, I have been, if you found the letter A, or it says not found if you don't think, because I want to get an idea of how many people view it. And now the question is that I want you to ask in the comments, in the manner as detailed as possible. In addition to the letter, to which the other lines or the formats that you have on hand, or any other part of the body. It may be a different make, an X, a cross, a triangle, a star, an old scar, a sign that he was always there and you never got it. Tell me what you have in your hand or another part of the body And that's where it is, because it can turn around in the next video, and you might just be in the next message you need to hear. I'm going to be out in the comments you read. And remember, sometimes the signal, we're not in the sky. At times, the signal too's in your hand, calling us to live the way that you do, you know that you deserve it.